All right. Again, I see the timer has completely run down and all of you are here waiting for me. I apologize. I was just grabbing one last coffee for today. It's been a crazy, crazy day. Thank you so very much. Chuanda, can you hear me well now? It's probably because you didn't hear me because I wasn't talking. So I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. No. So you cannot hear me. I'm sorry. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me well? Let's confirm. Okay. Raymond can hear me. Tuanda, maybe increasing your volume. Okay, yes, do so. So if you can hear me and no longer of the music, then you are definitely in the right room. It is 10:07. Let's get started as we all get comfortable here. As you know, or if you are new, what I'm about to do is give you a rundown of KOK, the ecosystem, along with KStadium. So we're going to try to do a one-on-one session for both platforms today. I just want to let you guys know that I am recording this session so that I can try to put it up on YouTube for those of us who cannot be here live on a 10 p.m. on a Monday night. So if you can, please turn off your cameras, because this session might be on YouTube and I just want to protect your privacy. All I need is you to have your earpieces or your headphones or your speakers on so you can hear me. And of course, if we can all turn off, again, our cameras, that'd be great. I'm going to mute all of us one last time, just to make sure that we can hear us. And let's get started. So Tuanda, I hope you can hear me now. Let's get started. Oh, I have to play my iconic sound. Oh, no, that's not it. Welcome, everybody. My name is Joony, and as you know, I am the one in charge of doing our Monday night sessions, introducing you to KOK or KOK Play, the platform, the app, the company, and the cryptocurrency. There's quite a lot to talk about. However, of course, to add all to that is that I want to talk also about KStadium. So today, as every Monday is going to be from now on, I will be live here on 10 p.m. talking to you about KStadium and KOK. And I do apologize if today I'm a little out of it. It's been a very crazy and busy, hectic 2 weeks for me. As you can imagine, for those of you who are following along the changes of KOK and KStadium, the promotion is happening right now. So I have been working for the past, oh boy, 14 hours straight. So it's going to be intense. I will be at my utmost attention as much as I can. If my brain stops working, I apologize for this session, but I'll try to go a bit slower than usual. Let's try to finish up before 11. So for today, we have this agenda, and we'll discuss at first why KOK was created. For those of you who are new here, I want to give you guys that understanding, and I'm going to go to what KOK exactly is. And then we're going to try to compare what KOK is in comparison to KStadium and what KStadium is. And I'm going to try to end up trying to explain to you why both KOK and KStadium together is our future. So it's a bit different than my traditional Monday nights. So if you are not new, welcome back. And this is going to be today's topic. And at the end of our session today, if I am still alive, I'm going to try to explain to you guys how to create a KStadium account and how to take part of the promotion and give you any updates. Usually, if I have you guys on Thursdays, we do an AMA session, which is an Ask Me Anything session. So let's try to keep the questions for Thursdays. But for today, sit back, relax, enjoy, and let's learn about KOK. So why it was founded, the origin story. And the origin story to why KOK was founded was because of the Hallyu wave, or the Korean cultural phenomenon that's hit us both on the East Coast, the West Coast. Globally, everybody knew Gangnam Style dance, iconic dance at Times Square. Everybody's utilizing Korean face products all across the globe. And of course, with BTS, with some sad news they had actually a couple of weeks ago, but everybody knows BTS. And the reason why Hallyu has caught the attention is, of course, perhaps for some of you, was Squid Game last year, wasn't it? We all watched Squid Game. And I just created this small, very brief timeline of what Hallyu may look like with some of the very iconic moments of Lifetime, especially for those of you who are living here in Canada with me, especially when I gave that example with the Quebec tourism industry exploding thanks to just one Korean drama called Tokebi and Goblin. Now, one of the reasons why everybody watched Squid Game is because we are part of that everybody that was stuck at home thanks to COVID-19. And we were all focused on one thing, which is stay at home and consume content. And the content that was consumed, one of with the highest popularity is K contents, the K-pop, the K-drama, K-beauty, K-gaming, K-everything. I would be shocked and surprised if you haven't heard of the word K-pop or Korean dramas, especially during the pandemic times when we really had so much time in our hands to consume this digital content. And in fact, this digital content world is exploding globally. We're not just talking about the Korean industry, we're talking about the entire digital content industry in a global scale. And just some statistics alone, it is being shown to give us a 2-digit growth rate with a annual growth rate of 16.2%. A 2-digit growth rate for an industry like this means it is booming and exploding, where only in the US is expected to reach a $38 billion industry by 2030. I'm pretty sure these numbers have even gone up higher. And of course, the way how we're consuming the digital content is changing rapidly, as you can see on the graph on the left, with the VR sector with an annual growth rate of 25%. So what I want to show on this slide is that there has definitely been a global boom of digital content, both on the consuming side and of course on the supply side. So that means everybody in the world made lots of money creating digital content because we definitely spent a lot of money consuming them, right? Well, not really. It wasn't really everybody around the world that got happy and rich. It is the very well-known companies that we are actually our main places of where we spend our time, isn't it? The places like Netflix, Facebook, now called Meta, on Instagram, Google with their YouTube and Play Store, Spotify, where we listen to music, and Apple with their App Store as well. These are platform giants. In fact, these guys are no longer even called giants. They're called dinosaurs because really no other company can try to match up to their scale. If they try to jump into the industry going against them, they'll just put a little nudge on the dinosaur's tail and you'll just be crushed upon. And these platform companies have gathered so much wealth, mass, and power that one of the explanation of what they're doing to the economy right now is unfortunately a monopoly. And I say unfortunately because us, you and I, though many of us listening to my presentation tonight, we are the consumers of these platform companies, aren't we? And if we are playing this monopoly game against them, well, guess what? Yes, they are the ones winning this game, and we are the ones paying and playing and paying and playing until we literally go bankrupt. But it's not even just us. It's literally everybody except the platform giant in the center, meaning even the creators of the contents are losing this game, where I use this example where the creator of Squid Game, along with all the staff members and all the wonderful actors, producers, executive assistants, everybody who was part of Squid Game had to share a pool of 27 million Canadian dollars, while the maker of Squid Game actually lost 6 of his teeth, creating that wonderful show in such a gruesome time. So that was the cost, but what Netflix made through that was 1 billion Canadian dollar. And this discrepancy just shows, again, how much monopoly or power or how much wealth these platform companies are amassing. And last year, there was a specific time where it got so bad, where the South Korean federal government or the national body of Korea had to try to pass bills, laws to limit how much power Apple and Google has, one of these many platform companies I just talked about. So these platform giants playing this monopoly, was there a chance to make things better? Well, that's actually where the birth of KOK comes in. A computer engineer with the background and expertise on creating a new content model where it wasn't just a platform that would create more monopolies, but making it a more of a fair model for definitely for the K contents that was coming out. And that, my friends, is literally the birth of KOK. It's a K platform for K contents. And our current at the time CTO for KOK, and now the chairman of the KOK Foundation, Dr. Young Choi, is still the very much backbone of this very well-made K platform for K contents that was made back in 2018 when it first started with these three pinnacle models of fair, share, and enable. And I want to say that one more time because it hasn't changed and it's still very much the backbone of KStadium, KOK, and KOK Foundation. And that's fair, share, and enable. A system that doesn't create another monopoly, a system that doesn't create an unfair balance between the platform, the system, versus the consumers and the developers or the creators, where wealth can be shared and a system that enables that. That was their three key goal. And one more time, that's the birth of KOK. And that's exactly what KOK is in a nutshell, a platform for contents. Now, that is why in the very beginning, KOK looked like this. You know, it had its TV shows, games, webtoons, movies, all the Korean contents that we just talked about, hosted on this wonderful app that launched in 2018 with the name of Keystone of Opportunity and Knowledge. But with great vision comes great responsibility homeworks. And those homework is to make a system, a platform that can host all the contents or the K contents in a manner where it is fair, and the wealth can be shared, or the assets can be shared, or the value can be shared. And to enable a system that can handle all that, not only require great leadership, but require great technology. Technology such as a decentralized blockchain network that can actually utilize AI solution to handle all the big data. Now, KOK at the time, in 2018, when they first started, had the vision, but not the technology. And that is why I like to introduce you to Medium, now called Meta M. Now, Medium is another South Korean company, but they did something else than a contents platform. They created a hardware and software solution together, creating the MDL node and platform where it can reach a speed of 14,000 transactions per second back in 2021. And recently, they even reached a 50,000 transactions per second with their MDL 5.0. Now, why am I telling you all these nice high numbers without even telling you what TPS stands for? Well, I'll explain to you why TPS is important. But what's important to know from this slide is that this is a South Korean company that has the backbone, the software and the hardware to own the speed and technology in the blockchain world, which is exactly what the vision required, the homework and the technology. And last year, these two companies merged into one. KOK, the K Contents platform that had the vision of fair share enable, required the homework of a blockchain solution, merged together with Medium, now called Meta M, with their blockchain technology. And together, now they can truly create this experience of a decentralized platform for all the contents, where through the decentralized blockchain technology that enables AI and big data can actually create an ecosystem of a fair, share, and enabled system. So that is why with this new birth, through the two merge of these giants, we are able to call KOK KStadium as a decentralized blockchain digital contents platform. And that is the new one sentence of describing KOK. And this excited not only just the users that were already part of KOK and the Korean government or the Korean users, but people globally. And when I mean people, I even mean venture capitalists. Venture capitalists, which are large firms who are willing to invest in early startups or early ideas who have great potentials, saw KOK's business success and business opportunity and invested as the two seed venture capitalists for KOK. And as you can see from Chain Capital, they on their website state they invest on blockchain infrastructures, decentralized finance technologies, and even cross-chain technologies as well, while Kirin Fund literally says investing in the most ambitious blockchain companies. And they saw that vision for KOK, and they are very much starters of KOK and KStadium along with us. But then comes the next homework. As it is a platform, it is a decentralized blockchain platform for all contents, we still have to think about what a platform requires. And a platform requires people like you and I, users. Without users, a platform is completely useless. And you even having the best contents on a zero user or low user base will completely kill the platform and render it useless. And as it is in the earliest stages of the company, KOK is also very much looking for these users to grow its ecosystem, because literally, as you see on the bottom here, the average value added over for the platform is $100 per month per member. So literally users mean more for the ecosystem, more value for the ecosystem. But remember, KOK, KStadium, wanted to be different away from these platform economies that created these monopolies, these giants and dinosaurs, which is kind of in the center here where I show you platform economy, where like things like Amazon, Alibaba, YouTube, Google, Facebook and Meta, Airbnb, Netflix, these are all platform economies. And you can see from the model that is drawn in the middle here why it creates these giants. For example, let's say you are an Uber driver. We are the drivers on the outside. And of course, we are able to amass a certain amount of asset while driving for Uber, but the money always flows into the center point where Uber company stands. And as a platform is able to amass more wealth from many users. The more users, the stronger and bigger and wealthier the center point becomes. But what happens if it decides to stop driving for Uber? This connection is severed and you are no longer required or part of the platform economy, while the platform itself has generated the wealth. And this is the same model for Airbnb. Who rents the houses? Or on YouTube, who creates the content? It's all us, really. But the money always flows into the center to the platform economy, a very centralized system. On a protocol economy, it looks a bit different. There is no one center. It is decentralized. And as you can see, it's an interconnected model where it is an economy based on community. But remember, KOK wanted a next version of economy away from this platform economy. And specifically, they want to create this protocol economy based on community because it matches their vision of being fair, of sharing its value, and enabling that economy is what they want. But if I say the word share, something needs to be shared, as in the value inside the community needs to be transferable among the nodes or the people inside the community, right? And that's exactly why they created the KOK token. The KOK token, although soon to be called coin, but the KOK token, as you know, or as you have heard, or if you haven't heard, the KOK token is a cryptocurrency that can allow the idea of, or the notion of being shared within the community. Assets and wealth can be shared. And like many other cryptocurrencies that we're talking about, the KOK token can be found on cryptocurrency exchange markets, exchanges, and data sources like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, which I took a screenshot of KOK over there. It tells you the ranking, it tells you the state, is it a token or a coin, and where can you buy it, where can you sell it, where can you exchange it. All of that information is available. One thing that I want to note for those of you who are new to cryptocurrency is I definitely want to let you know that you are kind of late to the party because the party is still very much going on, but it has boomed and grown like crazy. As you can see at the top, there's about 20,000 different cryptocurrencies already being tabulated. So we're no longer talking about tens or hundreds of different types. We're talking thousands of different types. While the exchanges, meaning places where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency, there's over 500 of them. This is an intense number in comparison to, let's say, to the stock exchange. Now, let's move on. From this screen alone, you are able to see that the KOK token is like your average cryptocurrency, as in you can mine it like cryptocurrency. The KOK uses a POS model in KOK Play and a DPOI model through KStadium. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but the point is you can mine it, as in you can acquire it, and there's a finite amount available. Very key. And as you saw on the screen before, you can trade it on major currency exchanges into US dollar Tether, Bitcoin, or other types of cryptocurrencies as well. Again, important. But if you've been following along the general underlying statement of what KOK is trying to do, is that the KOK token is so much more than your average cryptocurrency because, one, it has an ecosystem of users where they will utilize the KOK as an actual utility coin. It's a coin with a value that can actually be used in a place in an ecosystem for the K contents that we very much talked about, meaning the growth of that ecosystem, of that community, is very much in relation with the growth of the value of the KOK token. So where have we heard those words before? Growth of the community, growth of the value of the community. Voila. A protocol economy requires such a system, and that's exactly what they're trying to do and have been doing through KOK, KOK Foundation, and KStadium. But I do write one third point here. I wrote that it has the technology to own the network. Now, what do I mean by that? In the world of cryptocurrency, there are many various cryptocurrencies, of course, but you can actually divide the cryptocurrencies into two types. The two types is a token versus a coin. A token, unlike a coin, it says, means that it is a technology that don't have their own blockchain technology, but they operate by borrowing somebody else's. Many of the tokens out there, many of the cryptocurrencies out there are tokens, and they borrow that technology from Ethereum. And when KOK first started, before they met Medium, the blockchain amazement, they also were a token-based infrastructure where they borrowed technology from Ethereum, which is why you will now see that the KOK token is based on the ERC20 chain from Ethereum, like many other cryptocurrencies out there. However, I'm happy to tell you that the KOK token is about to switch into a coin because through Medium, they created the KOK mainnet or the ground chain. And through their own technology now, because it is a cryptocurrency with its own technology as a blockchain technology, it can be deemed a coin like Bitcoin or Ether, for example. And there's actually not a lot of coins out there in the cryptocurrency world. And if you ask me, how many of those coins have their own ecosystem of users that has an ecosystem of content providers? I would say maybe just one, and that being KOK. So yeah, I'm super excited to tell you through the closed beta that happened earlier this year and the open beta that you can participate right now. The KStadium app shows the full force of what the KOK mainnet can do with the KOK coin. And this is where the word TPS comes into effect. That's a bit important to note here. TPS means transactions per second, which means, let's say, for example, Visa and MasterCard. You need to transact on a system. Let's say you're standing on a little tapping machine or a signing machine where you're about to buy your coffee. If the TPS for Visa that you're using is low or small, then you actually, when you tap on that system, you are on a queue for your transactions to happen in a queue where globally from everybody utilizing the same network. If TPS is low, you'll be standing really awkwardly for a very long time for that transaction to happen. But if that TPS is high, bam, in one tap, You get that message approved, you're good to go, you get your receipt, and then you can go. So this is where TPS comes in. In a blockchain world, in the cryptocurrency world, transactions are going to happen globally from wherever you are, and things need to happen fast because we are definitely not patient creatures. And of course, if we're talking about millions of users, a high TPS is crucial. But let's look at these numbers here. Bitcoin has a TPS of 3 to 7, while Ethereum, it's the second highest contender in the cryptocurrency world, only has 15 to 25. Why are they so low, you ask? Because they're very old, they're rudimentary. Already, these coins are deemed old coins and old technology. So of course, the new technologies are able to create wonderful new speeds, like for example, from Medium of 50,000 transactions per second. So one thing to note here is you may think if you are a future blockchain technology company that you want to work with other blockchain technologies, would you work with somebody with high TPS or low TPS? This is something cool to keep in mind. But with that amazing new achievement through Medium, the merger between KOK with the idea of fair, share, and enable, and Medium's decentralized blockchain technology is the birth of KStadium. Perhaps a bigger place than a playground, so therefore the word stadium, but still keeping the word K for its K contents. And you can definitely learn much, much, much more than what I just let you know about by going to kstadium.io. Literally on your browser, on your Chrome, type in kstadium.io, and you'll be able to get most of the information that I just told you, along with so much more. So let's recap. It's 10:30 and we've done 3 of the main 4 happy days, which means we've understood why KOK started, to fight against the monopoly of the platform dinosaurs, giants, who are trying to create a system where we are always going to lose and they are always going to win. And to fight against that, KOK started to become a K platform for K contents, but utilize a blockchain solution through Medium, and through that created KStadium. Now with KStadium, it is now 2 platforms to complete the protocol economy, meaning we have the KOK platform and the KStadium platform, both from the same company, both utilizing KOK, but 2 of them doing something a little bit different than one and the other. And let me tell you what that difference is. Let's take a step back and only look at the days when only KOK Play existed. KOK Play existed, one more time as a review, to create an ecosystem of digital content platform users, meaning it wants more and more users that will consume and watch Korean content and buy Korean goods or K contents that we all know about, and even unlock that to all contents. Doesn't even have to be Korean actually, but put that on a blockchain world. And through there was this little nice function called a POS, or a proof of stake. And a lot of us actually took that as an investment opportunity, especially last year during its high-rise growth of value, as people were interested on trying to create investment opportunities in the cryptocurrency world. So KOK Play had 2 main functions. One, creating an ecosystem of digital content platform users where it has various contents to show, webtoons, TV shows, dramas, etc., while it even had this little investment opportunistic side where you could do a POS and receive a 4% of the POS you put in KOK. And if you refer somebody in, you can receive 100% of what they receive as a POS, which is a great incentive to add new users to KOK Play. Add new users. Why? It is a platform. It requires users. But now, through its merger with the birth of KStadium, the company is taking the POS investment opportunity out of KOK and really shoving it all into, or moving it all into, KStadium. So if you are thinking of the ecosystem of where between these 2 does the investment opportunity more lie, it is through KStadium, because there utilizes a new, almost patented actually, proof of stake model called a DPOI. It's a delegated proof of stake added investment function, so delegated proof of investment function, where they actually create decentralized autonomous organizations within there called DAOs, or in KStadium called SOs, where they can actually create system where we can delegate our investment into a system to be part of a DAO. And all of this is actually quite a mouthful of understanding KStadium, because, you know, we took every Mondays to just understand KOK, and here I am trying to give you a new idea of what KStadium is. So in short, it is easy to understand it as taking the investment opportunity side out of KOK and making it all into KStadium. On how that investment opportunity works, I urge you to join me on Thursdays at 10 p.m. or Thursdays at the same time, where I go on a deep dive onto KStadium and answer you any questions you may have about KStadium. But those changes also come with changes in the KOK as well. As it was announced in late April of this year, KOK will come with KYC authentication. So you will no longer have the ability to own multiple accounts, and you can only have one account linked to yourself. How it will be linked, we're not sure yet exactly, but probably like what KuCoin or many of the exchanges do through a government piece of ID will be my best guess. And then it will also have a staking limit of $5,000. So if you're a new user that has come in after these changes come to effect, these changes have not come to effect yet. But if you come in after these changes come to effect, you'll have a limit of $5,000 of a limit for your proof of stake model. And of course, as it was set from the beginning, before until now, you still have a 200% mining reward limit, but you will not be able to restake the KOK that you earn. Okay, and how will I be able to then increase my mining reward limit? Through mileage. And how that would look like, again, not exactly explained, but some of those changes have been announced very recently. So definitely look at those announcements and changes. And any of these questions and deep dives, I would love to tell you much, much more. But because it hasn't been finalized, I will just leave it at this. So one more time, let's take the next moment to understand KStadium, of why that side is more of the investment platform. Let's look at what happens when we only look at KOK, because it is part of the same ecosystem. As an ecosystem, it works together. So on the KOK Play side, as the content platform grows, it will always try to create more users. That can be through wonderful referral programs, or of course through the contents there. And as the users grow, and they transact on the newer, more amazing and exciting contents that come in there, which actually they have. You should check it out right now. More users will come in and they'll want to consume that content, right? So what happens every time they consume the content? They pay gas fees every time they purchase a content. So what also happens when you have more and more users in a platform? Well, you get wind of those companies or developers or content creators that say, hey, you got a wonderful user base there. I want to create my next Korean drama or my movie for your users. If you heard about those Netflix originals, this is exactly what Netflix tried to do. So you will have things like KOK originals. And if you've been utilizing the KOK Play app, that's exactly the announcement at the top of the screen today. They've created a KOK original. Those contents. So those contents come in, and these content makers are also called decentralized apps, decentralized companies who want to utilize the blockchain technology. But guess what? When they come in, guess what they pay? Gas fees. Aha! So already you see two very big gas fees. Sorry about all this animation. Sorry, guys. But with these two big gas fees already through from the user growth, through from the decentralized apps that have wants to utilize this contents platform called KOK Play, all of that gas fees, guess what? They pay it with Ether, because it's an Ethereum-based token network. Nay, they pay with KOK. This token will be its utility coin for the payments of these gas fees and this investment for these apps to enter the KOK contents platform. And all of that gas fees, because I told you it's an ecosystem, is being redistributed to people in KStadium who took part on the investment platform in the community pool. That's where those funds are coming from. It is not that they're printing new KOK, minting new KOK so that they can just give away those KOK to people in KStadium. No, it is the loop of the ecosystem of the community together with KOK and KStadium. Again, if you want to learn more about KStadium, join me on Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or right now Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's the exact same code, exact same Zoom link. You are here with me right now. It's the same code. Just meet me and ask me any more details you might have or any more questions you might have about KStadium. Let's definitely do a deep dive. So note that onto your calendar. And again, I will try to put those up on YouTube. And tonight at the end of my slide, I will show you the link of where you can find those YouTube videos because I have the green light from our wonderful sponsor, the DAGroup or Dream Achievers Group from Toronto, where they are hiring me, training me, coaching me, and of course, sponsoring me to make these videos for you guys. But of course, if you want to take the shortcut and even before Thursday, you want to be a grade A student, definitely tune into KStadium.io to get more information. And then we can have a far more exciting discussion on Thursdays. Let's get back. Remember, KStadium and KOK, they are all from one company. They are all one ecosystem. You should not think of them as one or the other separately. And together, the KOK Foundation are trying to create this protocol economy based on a model where you are incentivized to contribute to grow value for the community. And when you grow that value for the community, that value is provided to all. And that is exactly where they're leading us into the future, into the words that you see on these screens, which is literally every single point of technology leading us into the future that we very much are part of right now. So I urge you again to join me next Monday and Thursdays to learn about KOK, KStadium, and ask yourself, question yourself, do your homework, and definitely take some time in your life to learn about these wonderful new advancements because it is really the future we are walking into. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for joining me on this Monday night. I apologize if I was a little bit short on my words today. My brain can only take so much. I'm on my 6th cup of coffee today. And thank you very, very much for joining me. The questions that I'll try to answer, I will try to have some quite Q&A time at the end because that is very much what I'm very well known for. But I want to let you know that this video will be posted on our DAGroup. Can't finish my sentence. Our DAGroup YouTube, and that link to that YouTube is posted right on the group chat right now. Bloop. Here you go. That is our channel. You can already see a playlist that I created called English videos. And on that channel, oops, I only sent it to Tuwanda. My bad. Here you go, guys. Here's it to everybody. Wait, yeah, sorry about that. So I have been very busy trying to create a lot of videos for us. I apologize, some of these mostly have been in Korean, but of course, I have our last Monday night's presentation already up there. The Thursday night videos will be there. I have an English video on how to participate on the second promotion application guide, which I'll talk about very soon. So again, definitely subscribe to this channel and you'll be able to know when I immediately upload the new videos, and then you can check those out at your free time and of course, and share. And all of this again is sponsored by DAGroup, Dream Achievers Group here in Toronto, led by Jane Song, former level 7 of the KOK play. And I say former because all of those levels are gone as of July 11th. So, and now she's becoming the SO or the stadium owner for DA Note. So definitely keep an eye for her. Horace, I'll try my best, but today has been a very rough day, so please pardon me. So if you don't have any more questions, you are free to go. However, I want to let you know of some updates. And when I talk about updates, I want to let you know how to check your own updates. So here's this very small, easy type of screen. So on the very far left is the very first page you will see at the KOK Play app. And at the very top, you see KOK original content release. Hey, I just talked about that. And I'm so excited about that. The content has gotten so much higher in quality. I'm excited for KOK Play's future. Okay, but getting back to the point, to check for updates, it pops out right away. But I've seen that most of you just press close right away. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I understand it is a pop-up culture that we don't like. So as soon as something pops up, we have the ability to literally close it as lightning. However, if you want to check out some of the news one more time when you have time to go there, you go to the top of the screen with the little profile logo, press on that. You'll find announcements. And then you can click on announcement and find all the list of the announcement, the changes in numbers, the percentages that they have been talking about. And also, the announcement that they released on June 22nd of this year, which is the notice of second mining asset promotion. And that link you will be able to find it when you press on that. And that video you see on DAGroups in English is exactly how to fill that link up. The reason why I start with this update is because when they first announced it, they said the estimated end date is June 28, Tuesday at 9 a.m. And they were very, very correct on that, I guess, because at the very top of the announcement page here, he says early termination of second asset transfer promotion. Because so many of us all across the world have been interested in it, which is actually what I've been doing at the office here in Toronto for the past 3 days, is helping people getting into the into the second mining asset transfer promotion. So definitely, if you know and heard about it, but you're waiting for, oh, I heard it ends on Wednesday, so I still got a couple of days. No, you don't. You have literally less than 7 hours left to do this. So if you want to take part of that, do it right now. Check the video out on the DAGroup on how to do it. I did it a step-by-step. You can follow me along and take advantage of the second mining asset promotions. If you don't know what it is, I would say either learn it really fast or it's always okay to let go of some opportunities. I don't suggest on you jumping into things without knowing what you're doing. So again, this is where it is. I want to let you know. So that's what I wanted to update you guys on. And with the 55 of you for the next 12 minutes with my coffee, I will try to answer some questions. Let's go. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I already see Sam's question. Oh, coffee's so good. All right, Sam. Let's go. Hi, Joony. Considering how there has been some price fluctuations, with KOK on most exchanges, I'm wondering why does the app not auto-adjust this, as it seems the app pays out $7 per 1 KOK. How does this affect? Great question, Sam. It's been on everybody's mind, literally, because on the market right now, what are we seeing? $1, just maybe. And I hope nobody asks the question, why is it dropping so much? Because really so many factors are there. But let's put that aside and answer your question, Sam, which is why aren't they thinking about adjusting the price? Well, they have been actually, and they will be dropping that price from what I'm hearing. To how much? I do not know. They have not announced it exactly, but the price, I am 95% sure that they are going to adjust the price. One of the main reasons, though, why they haven't adjusted the price till now on is if they adjust the price, the 4% that you're getting back, sorry, not getting back, the 4% that you are receiving as a POS is based on a monetary value on your mining asset, which is calculated at a $7 rate. Right? So that number of $7 or whatever KOK value needs to exist in the platform to calculate your 4% POS, which you receive on KOK. Because this value difference has existed and it's really hurting us right now, the foundation is thinking of changing that price. To how much? I don't know. So is it going to be lower? Yes. How much lower? I don't know, Sam. Again, I hope I answered your question, Sam. Before I answer Raymond's follow-up question, you're welcome, Sam. Janice asked me directly, but I would like to share with everybody. She asked, when we hit submit for transfer promotion, when do we select the SOP or not? No, I think she meant node. Janice, great question. So I think you're talking about the transfer promotions, especially the second mining asset transfer promotion. And perhaps some of you may even participate on the very first transfer promotion. I want to let you know, nobody has received their SOPs yet. And a lot of you are like, what's SOP? Okay, definitely those people join me on Thursday, but KOK and SOP are one-to-one. They're very much the same, but you would have heard, or if you haven't heard, here it is. If you move KOK or your asset into the community pool in KStadium, once you delegate that asset, you delegate your KOK as SOP. And SOP cannot be converted back to KOK. In other words, KOK that you delegate into the community pool cannot exit. In other words, the asset that you invest stays as an investment indefinitely. Do you terminate your account and get your SOP back as KOK? No, you do not. This is a big difference. And there are many other big differences to community pool. So if you haven't understood that, again, join me on Thursdays. And Joony, should I quickly take a part of the second asset transfer promotion and join you on Thursdays? That is a decision you'll have to make on your own. It is a, what do I suggest always to people? Try to understand what you're doing before you do it, because then you really have no regrets. Maybe missing an opportunity because you didn't know is a better thought than making a riskier choice without knowing or understanding your options. So I will leave it at that. So Janice, to answer your question, because I had to put background to the answer that I'm giving to the people who didn't understand what SOP is, you will have the ability to select your SOP or your node when your SOP arrives. It hasn't arrived yet, right? So it will first, you will receive your asset from your transfer promotion in your wallet, and then you will have the choice to choose where to put that SOP. And as you can see, I am being sponsored by Dream Achievers Group, and you will have the infinite support of this wonderful voiced Joony if you are part of the Dream Achievers Group. If you do not take part and do not take part on the DAGroup's node and some other node, of course you can. That is no problem. It is your choice. This is a fair share enabled system, correct? However, just note that I am part of DAGroup, and our support and systems support comes from DAGroup. So Janice, I hope you answered your question. You will receive it as SOP, and then you will choose or select where to put it in. And I will definitely try to create a video, both in English and Korean, before that day hits. I've crossed my fingers so that you guys can do that. It's a very easy step that you can do. But of course, I'll create a video. So again, I hope I answered your question. Next question. If they drop the price on the app, Raymond asked, wouldn't it make sense to pay out more KOK coins than like when it went up, they reduced the payout, so it makes sense for the coin distribution to also pay out more? Wow. That's intense grammar, Raymond. But yes, it does make sense to do that. And then that's exactly what they will do. So meaning you are receiving your percentage 4% of your original sum. So let's say, let's do the math really quickly. Let's say on your mining asset, you have $1,000 in your mining asset. So this is what you have on your POS, and you're supposed to receive 4% of that. If the price of KOK is $7, how you will calculate that is, so $1,000, 4%, 0.4 is $40 you should be getting monthly, divided by 7. So monthly, you would receive 5.71 KOK. If the price of KOK drops to, let's say, $5, just to make our lives simpler with the math. So the $40 will be divided by 5, and you'll receive 8 KOK. So yes, Dan, this is what happens when the price drops. You will receive more KOK. But if you are wondering, then should I just stay here and receive more KOK here when the price drops? The amount of KOK that you can receive in KStadium in the community pool is significantly higher. Okay. And again, if you want to understand more of that, join me on Thursdays. Any other questions, guys? And I think, Tawanda, you asked me a question on the email, right? Why don't we take the time to ask to see those questions? Let's see. I apologize. I haven't had a chance to really go on my email and answer some of the questions you guys had. So again, apologies. I'm always apologizing, but I promise you I've been very busy. Let's see. And Tawanda, you're so nice. You said you feel silly about those questions. Those were not silly questions, by the way. Let's see. Okay. Ooh. I see, Raymond. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just reading over Tawanda's questions. If anybody else has questions too, feel free to post. We still got 4 minutes from our wonderful day here before Joony literally passes out. And to 51 of you who are all here and listening, hey, cheers. Okay. Yeah, it seems that those questions are a little bit more personal. So I'm probably not going to utilize those numbers here to answer you, Tawanda. If you don't mind, Tawanda, I know you're tired, and as I am very much as well. Let's meet up later. Yes, I think that's best. Those questions I will answer later. It's best that we do that. Okay, so Raymond, thanks. Just wondering, because I have a large team and haven't decided what to do. Yes, I know. I remember this conversation, Raymond. The promotions aren't there to confuse you. The promotions are there to definitely entice the group to utilize the KStadium. And I would urge you to ask the question, why would the foundation ask me to do something? And I will urge you to keep in mind the protocol economy function right here. Remember here, this screen right here. The protocol economy is based on a permissionless model where any and all participants are enabled and incentivized to contribute, meaning you will always be incentivized to contribute or add value to the community. Because when you add that value to the community, you shouldn't think of it like a platform economy where, oh, am I just giving my money to the platform in the center? No, you're providing the value to the community or to the ecosystem. And when you are providing value to the ecosystem, you are actually providing value to everybody in the ecosystem, and that includes you. That's exactly what they're trying to create, what they have created, and they're trying to utilize blockchain technology to do so. Why? Because the blockchain is open source and it can be seen by all. There's no hidden codes or hidden books. It's all shown open book to everybody who's participating. So that's what you should have kind of keep in mind for the big changes that are happening, especially the ones they've mentioned for July 11th. Again, to check those announcements is right here. Okay, that is where the announcements are. Okay, Larry, you're very welcome. I love your energy, sir, for being grateful for my wonderful tired voice. Thank you so much, Larry. And again, it is 11 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time, which means I am going to go pass out in a nice little blanket. And as promised, I'm going to share this video on YouTube. And of course, please subscribe to our DAGroup channel. I'll put that onto the chat one more time. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good night for me, guys. It's 11. Please subscribed to our YouTube channel. I'll put tonight's video up there. And at the comment section of that video, I'll put the link to where you can download the slides for today. So you can, of course, look at those and share with anybody around you. Good night to you all. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Okay, I will see you guys on Thursdays if you're interested to ask questions about KStadium. And of course, I'll see you guys next Monday as well. I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock. I'll let you guys listen to wonderful music, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.